What you do today, regardless of how you feel, will be the foundation of tomorrow's success. So force yourself to make it happen. There is a saying, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. We all have big goals, dreams, and things we want to achieve, but sometimes it feels impossible to get things done. Do you ever feel stuck, like you know exactly what you need to do, but something inside you just won't let you take action? What if I told you that you have everything you need to push past those obstacles and get things done? What if I could show you exactly how to break through the resistance holding you back and take control of your progress? In this video, I'm going to share 10 unstoppable ways to force yourself to get it done and achieve your goals. You'll learn practical, actionable strategies that will help you push past excuses, stay focused, and make real progress. If you're ready to take charge and turn your dreams into reality, stick around. This is the start of something that could change everything. Now let's dive in. Number 1, understand that no one will do it for you. No one is coming to rescue you. No one is going to build your dreams for you. And no one is going to pick you up every time you fall. It's on you. It's always been on you. Now that might sound harsh at first, but think about it. Isn't it empowering to know that your life is in your hands? Isn't it exciting to realize that your future isn't determined by luck or someone else's decisions, but by your own actions? That's the beauty of life. It's yours to shape. You have to stop waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect person to show up and make things easy for you. Waiting is a trap. The longer you wait, the harder it gets to start. The truth is, the longer you sit around hoping that someone will notice your potential or hand you a break, the more you'll find yourself stuck in the same place year after year. And let me tell you, potential without action is worthless. What matters is what you do with what you've got. You've got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, this is on me. Take a moment and ask yourself, what have you been putting off because you're waiting for someone else to make it easier for you? Is it starting that business? Is it taking control of your health? Is it learning that skill you know could change your life? The truth is, the longer you wait, the heavier that weight becomes. And carrying that regret later on will feel a whole lot worse than the discomfort of starting today. You might say, but Jim, it's hard. Of course it's hard. Anything worth having is hard. Success doesn't come easy, and it's not supposed to. But here's the thing. The hard is what makes it valuable. When you force yourself to get it done, even when you don't feel like it, you build a kind of inner strength that no one can take away from you. You prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. And that belief in yourself is priceless. Let's talk about excuses for a minute. They're comforting, aren't they? It's easy to say, I don't have the time, or I don't have the resources, or I'm just not ready. But excuses don't pay the bills. Excuses don't build legacies. Excuses don't get the job done. What gets the job done is discipline, commitment, and action. And guess what? Those are things you can control. Those are things you can develop. So stop giving power to your excuses and start giving power to your goals. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. There will be days when you don't feel like it. Days when you're tired, frustrated, and tempted to quit. But those are the days that matter most. Those are the days that separate the winners from the rest. Because anyone can show up when it's easy. But it takes something special to show up when it's hard. And that something special? That's you. If you're waiting for motivation, let me save you some time. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. What you need is discipline. Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation is nowhere to be found. Discipline is what gets you out of bed when the alarm goes off. Discipline is what keeps you focused when distractions are everywhere. And discipline is what makes the difference between success and mediocrity. Take ownership of your life. Decide right now that you're done waiting. Decide that you're done making excuses. Decide that you're going to force yourself to get it done, no matter what, because no one else is going to do it for you. And no one else is going to care as much as you do about your own success. And that's not a bad thing. It's a gift. It means you get to be the one in charge. You get to decide how far you go, how hard you work, and how much you achieve. Start small if you need to. You don't have to conquer the world in a day, but you do have to start. Take that first step, even if it's uncomfortable. Push through the resistance. Build the habit of showing up for yourself every single day. And over time, you'll see the results. You'll see the progress. And most importantly, you'll see the person you're becoming, the person who gets it done. Remember, your life is your responsibility, no one else's. It's up to you to take control, to take action, and to make it happen. So stop waiting. Stop hoping. Stop relying on anyone else to do it for you. Force yourself to get it done because your future depends on it. And believe me, the rewards will be worth every ounce of effort. Number 2, commit to a routine and stick to it. It's not about putting in effort when you feel like it. It's about showing up consistently every single day. And the only way to make that happen is by committing to a routine. A routine isn't just a schedule or a plan, it's a structure. It's the framework that keeps you on track, even when life gets chaotic. The beauty of a routine is that it takes the guesswork out of your day. When you know what you're supposed to do and when you're supposed to do it, you eliminate hesitation. You stop wasting time deciding whether or not you're going to take action because the decision has already been made. It's in the plan. All that's left for you to do is follow through. Let's break this down. Think about the most successful people you know or admire. Do you think they wake up every day and wing it? Of course not. They have routines that they stick to without fail. Why? Because routines create habits, and habits create results. When you commit to a routine, you're building the foundation for consistent progress. Start by identifying what really matters. What are the actions that will move the needle in your life? Is it exercising? Is it working on your craft? Is it studying, networking, or practicing a skill? Whatever it is, write it down. Make it clear. Don't leave room for confusion. A solid routine starts with clarity about your priorities. Now here's the key. Make your routine realistic. It's tempting to set a schedule that looks perfect on paper but is impossible to stick to. Don't fall into that trap. The goal isn't to create a routine that impresses others. It's to create one that works for you. Start small if you have to. Focus on consistency over intensity. It's better to stick to a manageable routine than to burn out trying to do too much at once. Once you've built your routine, the next step is non-negotiable. Stick to it. This is where most people falter. They start strong, but when the initial excitement wears off, they let their routine slide. Don't be that person. Treat your routine like a contract with yourself, a contract you can't break. Your routine is your commitment to your goals, and breaking it means breaking that commitment. There will be days when sticking to your routine feels like the hardest thing in the world. Days when you're tired, distracted, or unmotivated. But those are the days that matter most. Those are the days when sticking to your routine proves that you're serious about your goals. Anyone can stick to a routine when it's easy. The real test is doing it when it's hard. To make this work, eliminate distractions. Set yourself up for success by creating an environment that supports your routine. If you're trying to focus, remove the things that pull your attention away. If you're working on your health, stock your kitchen with foods that fuel your body instead of sabotaging your progress. Your environment plays a huge role in whether or not you stick to your routine, so make it work for you, not against you. Track your progress. One of the most motivating things about a routine is seeing how far you've come. Keep a journal, use an app, or find some other way to measure your consistency. When you look back and see that you've shown up day after day, it fuels your momentum. It reminds you that you're capable of sticking to your commitments. But here's something important. Don't beat yourself up if you miss a day. Life happens. What matters isn't perfection, it's persistence. If you slip up, don't use it as an excuse to give up entirely. Get back on track as quickly as possible. A missed day doesn't define you. What defines you is how you respond. Your routine is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. It's the daily proof that you're serious about creating the life you want. So, make that commitment. Build your routine. Stick to it, no matter what. Because in the end, the results you achieve will be a reflection of the routines you've followed. Number 3, acknowledge that waiting only wastes time. Waiting is the easiest way to lose time, and lost time is something you can never get back. Every moment you spend waiting for the perfect opportunity, the right conditions, or enough confidence is a moment you've wasted. And here's the hard truth. Nothing changes while you wait. Waiting doesn't solve problems. Waiting doesn't build skills. Waiting doesn't create results. Action does. When you sit back and wait, you're telling yourself a lie that tomorrow will somehow be better or easier. But tomorrow isn't guaranteed. The truth is, waiting doesn't bring you closer to your goals. It pushes them further away. It builds a habit of procrastination, and once that habit takes root, it's hard to break. Ask yourself this: how much time have you already wasted waiting? How many goals have been delayed because you convinced yourself you weren't ready? Take a hard look at those lost opportunities. It hurts, doesn't it? But that pain is important. It's a wake-up call. You don't get to rewind the clock, but you do get to make a choice right now. Do you keep waiting, or do you start moving? Let's face it, waiting often feels safe. It feels like you're avoiding failure or disappointment. But in reality, you're just delaying progress. And the longer you delay, the harder it becomes to start. The fear grows. The excuses multiply. Before you know it, you've spent years in the same place, stuck in the same patterns. Waiting isn't safety, it's stagnation. Think about what you want most in life. Is it financial freedom? Better health? Stronger relationships? Mastery in your career or craft? Whatever it is, waiting won't get you there. The gap between where you are and where you want to be can only be closed by action. Every day you wait is a day you could have spent improving, growing, and getting closer to your goals. Let's get real about why people wait. They wait because they're scared of failing, scared of looking foolish, scared of not being good enough. But here's the truth. Fear doesn't go away while you wait. The only way to overcome fear is to face it head on. Action is the antidote to fear. The moment you start moving, the fear starts shrinking. Stop thinking you need everything figured out before you begin. You don't. Most people who achieve great things didn't have all the answers when they started. They figured it out along the way. The process teaches you. The mistakes teach you. Waiting for perfection is just an excuse to avoid the work. And the work is where the magic happens. Time is your most valuable resource. You can make more money, gain more experience, or rebuild a lost relationship, but you can't create more time. Once it's gone forever. So why waste it waiting? Why let another day slip by without taking a step toward the life you want? Here's what you need to remember. Starting now doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It doesn't mean you have to have it all figured out. It just means taking that first step, no matter how small it is. One step leads to another. And before you know it, you're building momentum. But none of that happens if you stay in the trap of waiting. You might tell yourself, I'll start when I have more time. Or, I'll start when I feel more confident. But that's just a lie we tell ourselves to feel better about staying in our comfort zones. The truth is, the perfect moment doesn't exist. The conditions will never be ideal. You have to act in spite of that. You have to create your own momentum. Waiting robs you of your potential. It keeps you in a cycle of someday. But someday isn't on the calendar. All you have is today, this moment, this opportunity. Don't waste it. If there's something you've been putting off, do it now. If there's a goal you've been waiting to pursue, start working on it today. Even a small action is better than no action at all. When you acknowledge that waiting only wastes time, you free yourself from the illusion that you'll somehow feel ready later. Readiness isn't a feeling. It's a decision. Decide today that you're done waiting. Decide that you're going to take action, no matter how imperfect or uncomfortable it might feel. Your future self is counting on you to act now. They're relying on you to take the steps today that will create the life you want tomorrow. Don't let them down. Don't let yourself look back years from now and wonder what could have been if only you'd started sooner. Number 4, use your own pain as a driving force. Pain is a powerful thing. It's something everyone faces at some point, and it comes in many forms: loss, failure, rejection, disappointment. But here's the key. Pain can either break you or build you. It all depends on how you respond to it. If you use it the right way, pain can become the fuel that drives you to accomplish things you never thought possible. Take a moment to think about the pain you've experienced in your life. It might be the frustration of falling short of your goals, the regret of wasted opportunities, or the hurt caused by someone you trusted. Whatever it is, acknowledge it. Don't run from it. Don't bury it, and don't pretend it doesn't exist. Pain is real, and the first step to using it is to face it head on. Most people try to avoid pain at all costs. They numb it with distractions or push it aside, hoping it will fade. But ignoring pain doesn't make it disappear. It lingers in the background, quietly controlling your decisions and holding you back. Instead of avoiding it, use it. Let it remind you of what you don't want to feel again. Let it push you to take action, to do better, to rise above. Pain has a way of sharpening your focus. When you're in pain, you start to see things more clearly. You see what truly matters. You see the mistakes you've made and the lessons they hold. You see the people and habits in your life that no longer serve you. Use that clarity to make better choices. Use it to set stronger goals and to go after them with everything you've got. Here's the truth. Pain can make you stronger if you let it. Every time you endure it, you build resilience. Every time you rise after a setback, you prove to yourself that you're capable of handling more than you thought. And every time you overcome it, you grow. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in the struggle, in the effort, in the decision to keep going even when it hurts. Think about some of the most successful people in the world. They didn't get there by living an easy life. They faced pain, just like you. They failed. They were rejected. And they struggled. But instead of letting their pain define them, they let it drive them. They used it as motivation to work harder, to be better, to achieve more. If they can do it, so can you. One of the most powerful things pain can give you is a sense of purpose. When you've suffered, you understand what it feels like to be at your lowest. You know what it's like to feel helpless, to feel like giving up. Use that understanding to push yourself forward. Use it to help others who are going through similar struggles. Pain can connect you to others in a way that nothing else can. Don't let your pain be the end of your story. Let it be the beginning of a new chapter. Let it be the reason you work harder, the reason you refuse to settle, the reason you keep going when others would quit. Pain isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you're alive, that you're human, and that you have the capacity to overcome it. When you use your pain as a driving force, you take control of your life. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the creator of your destiny. You realize that your pain doesn't define you. Your response to it does. You might not have chosen the pain you've faced, but you can choose what you do with it. Let your pain remind you of your strength. Let it remind you of the fire inside you, the part of you that refuses to give up. Use it as a reason to get out of bed every morning and to keep pushing forward, even when it's hard. The pain you feel today is temporary, but the growth it can bring is lasting. Think about the pain you've endured. Wouldn't it feel incredible to look back one day and know that you turned it into something positive? That you didn't let it break you, but instead let it make you? That you used it as a stepping stone to become the best version of yourself? Number 5, eliminate excuses completely. Excuses are the chains that keep you locked in the same place. They might sound harmless, just small reasons why you couldn't or shouldn't do something, but they are the silent killers of dreams and progress. If you want to succeed, you have to face this uncomfortable truth. Excuses don't serve you. They only hold you back. Every excuse you make is a decision to settle for less. It's a choice to stay in your comfort zone rather than step up and take control of your life. When you tell yourself, I don't have time, what you're really saying is, I don't want this bad enough. When you say, I'm not ready, you're admitting you're too scared to try. Excuses might feel like a shield, but in reality, they are a prison. Think about the times you've made excuses in the past. Be honest with yourself. Were they valid, or were they a way to avoid discomfort or hard work? Most of the time, excuses come from fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough. But here's the thing. Fear only has power if you let it. The moment you choose to act despite your fear, it starts to lose its grip. Eliminating excuses starts with accountability. Own your choices, your actions, and your results. Stop blaming circumstances, people, or bad luck. Take a good hard look at your situation and say, this is on me. It might not feel good to admit, but it's empowering. When you take responsibility, you take back control. Excuses often sound like logic. I'll start tomorrow because today's already halfway over. I can't do it because I don't have the resources. I'll wait until things calm down before I focus on this. These sound reasonable, but they're just a way to delay what needs to be done. The truth is, there's never going to be a perfect time. Waiting only wastes time. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is now. Start replacing excuses with solutions. Instead of saying, I don't have the time, look at your schedule and find where you can create time. Maybe it's waking up earlier, cutting back on distractions, or being more efficient with your tasks. Instead of saying, I don't know how, commit to learning. The resources are out there, and if you're willing to put in the effort, you can figure it out. Eliminating excuses requires discipline. It's not easy, but it's necessary. Discipline is what gets you out of bed when you're tired. It's what keeps you focused when distractions are calling. It's what pushes you to keep going. When quitting feels like the easier option, the more disciplined you are, the less room there is for excuses. Another way to crush excuses is to remind yourself of your why. Why are you doing this? Why is it important to you? When your why is strong enough, excuses start to seem weak. If your goal is to improve your life, provide for your family, or achieve something meaningful, no excuse should be big enough to stand in your way. Eliminating excuses also means being real with yourself about your priorities. If something truly matters to you, you'll find a way to make it happen. If it doesn't, you'll find an excuse. Ask yourself, how badly do I want this? If the answer is badly enough, then no excuse should stand a chance. Excuses are comfortable, but growth isn't supposed to be comfortable. Progress requires effort, sacrifice, and sometimes even a little bit of pain. But the rewards of pushing through far outweigh the temporary relief of giving in to an excuse. When you stop making excuses, you open the door to possibility. You start to see what you're truly capable of. You realize that the only limits are the ones you place on yourself. And you learn that with enough effort, persistence, and belief in yourself, you can overcome almost anything. Imagine looking back on your life and knowing you gave it your all. That you didn't let excuses hold you back. That you didn't settle for less than you were capable of achieving. That feeling, that sense of accomplishment and pride is worth every bit of discomfort you'll face along the way. So, eliminate the excuses. Stop letting them control your life. Replace them with action, responsibility, and a commitment to your goals. The only thing standing between you and what you want is the excuse you're making right now. Number 6, push through the resistance with a strong mindset. Resistance is the invisible wall that stands between where you are now and where you want to be. It's that feeling that tells you to stop, to quit, to give up because it's hard. Everyone faces resistance. It's a universal challenge. But what separates the successful from the unsuccessful is how you respond to it. To overcome resistance, you need to develop a strong mindset, a mindset that doesn't crumble under pressure, but rises to meet it. Resistance shows up in many forms. It could be self-doubt whispering that you're not good enough. It could be procrastination, convincing you there's always tomorrow. It could be the fatigue that makes you want to take a break. Whatever shape it takes, resistance is there to test your determination. And the only way to defeat it is to push through. A strong mindset starts with a clear purpose. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? Your reason must be strong enough to fuel you through the tough moments. If your purpose is weak, resistance will win. But if your purpose is strong, it will give you the energy to keep going when everything else tells you to stop. Another key to a strong mindset is preparation. Resistance feels heavier when you're unprepared. If you're working on a project, break it into manageable steps so it doesn't feel overwhelming. If you're pursuing a goal, have a plan in place to guide you. When you know what needs to be done and how to do it, resistance loses its power. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you think, I can't do this, you're already defeated. But if you tell yourself, I can handle this, you create a mindset of possibility. Positive self-talk isn't just motivational fluff. It's a tool to retrain your brain. When resistance hits, remind yourself that you've faced challenges before and come out stronger. Focus is your greatest weapon against resistance. The more you focus on what needs to be done, the less room there is for distractions or doubts. Eliminate anything that pulls your attention away from your goal. This might mean setting boundaries with others, turning off your phone, or creating a dedicated space for your work. The clearer your focus, the easier it becomes to push through. Building a strong mindset also requires patience. Resistance doesn't disappear overnight. It takes time to develop the mental toughness to overcome it. Be patient with yourself, but don't let patience turn into complacency. Keep moving forward, even if progress feels slow. Every step you take weakens the resistance. Learn to embrace discomfort. Resistance thrives on your desire to avoid pain, difficulty, or uncertainty. But growth comes from facing those things head on. The more you push through uncomfortable situations, the more resilient you become. You start to realize that discomfort is temporary, but the rewards of overcoming it are lasting. Sometimes, resistance feels strongest when you're on the brink of success. It's like the final test to see if you're truly committed. This is when most people quit, but this is exactly when you need to dig in and push harder. Remind yourself that every ounce of effort brings you closer to your goal. Surround yourself with people who inspire strength and resilience. A strong mindset isn't built in isolation. Seek out those who challenge you, encourage you, and remind you of your potential. When resistance feels overwhelming, having a support system can make all the difference. Practice gratitude to strengthen your mindset. Resistance often makes you focus on what's hard or what's lacking. But when you shift your perspective to appreciate what you have and the progress you've made, it's easier to stay motivated. Gratitude helps you see the bigger picture and reminds you of what you're working toward. Pushing through resistance is a choice. It's not easy, and it's not always enjoyable. But it's necessary if you want to achieve your goals. A strong mindset doesn't mean you never feel resistance. It means you don't let it stop you. It means choosing to act even when you don't feel like it, and refusing to give up even when it's tough. Remember, resistance is temporary. It feels massive in the moment, but it's just a hurdle, not a permanent block. The more you push through it, the stronger you become, and the easier it gets to face future challenges. Every time you overcome resistance, you're proving to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. Number 7, remove distractions from your environment. If you want to achieve anything significant in life, you need to focus. But focus is nearly impossible if you're constantly surrounded by distractions. Distractions steal your time, energy, and attention. They pull you away from your goals, and before you know it, hours or even days have passed without any real progress. The key to pushing through resistance and getting things done is creating an environment that supports your focus and productivity. First, understand that distractions are everywhere. They can come in the form of noise, people, digital devices, or even your own thoughts. The world is full of things competing for your attention, and it's easy to get caught up in them. But if you're serious about reaching your goals, you have to recognize distractions for what they are. Obstacles standing between you and the success you want. Start by evaluating your physical environment. Look around. Are there things that distract you? A cluttered workspace, a messy room, or even an uncomfortable chair can pull your attention away from your work. It's hard to stay focused when you're constantly being reminded of the things that need fixing. Clean up your space. Make it conducive to concentration. You can't expect to think clearly and be productive if you're surrounded by chaos. A clean, organized environment will help you stay focused and create a mindset that's ready for action. Next, look at the digital distractions. Your phone, computer, and other devices are full of distractions that can steal your focus in an instant. Social media notifications, emails, messages, or just the urge to check something online can derail your entire day. If you want to remove distractions, it's time to set boundaries with technology. Turn off notifications, close unnecessary tabs, and set designated times to check emails or social media. When you're working, be fully present. This is about creating space for focus. The people around you also contribute to distractions. If you're surrounded by individuals who aren't supportive of your goals or who constantly interrupt you, it's time to make some changes. Let people know your focus is important to you and that you need time to work without distractions. If possible, find a quiet space to work, away from those who might pull you into conversations or other activities. It's okay to set boundaries. Your time and energy are precious, and you can't afford to let anyone waste them. Sometimes distractions come from within. Your own thoughts can pull you away from the task at hand. Worrying about the future, stressing over what's not going right, or getting lost in negative thoughts can drain your energy. That's why mental clarity is so important. You need to be able to quiet the noise in your mind and focus on the task in front of you. Meditation, mindfulness, or simply taking a moment to breathe can help clear your head and bring your attention back to where it needs to be. Creating a distraction-free environment doesn't happen overnight. It's something you have to be intentional about. It requires discipline and commitment to your goals. But once you start removing distractions, you'll find that your productivity increases, your focus sharpens, and your progress speeds up. One powerful way to eliminate distractions is to schedule your time. Time blocking is a technique where you dedicate specific periods of time to certain tasks. This helps you stay on track and prevents distractions from pulling you away. When you know exactly what you need to be doing at a given time, it's easier to stay focused and get things done. The more structured your schedule, the less room there is for distractions to creep in. You can also use tools to help you stay on task. Apps that block distracting websites, productivity timers, or task management tools can help you keep track of what needs to be done and keep distractions at bay. These tools act as reminders, keeping you accountable to your goals and ensuring you stay on track. Another important aspect of removing distractions is setting clear goals. When you have a clear sense of purpose, distractions lose their power. They no longer feel important because you know exactly what you're working toward. A clear goal gives you the motivation to ignore things that would otherwise pull you away. And let's not forget the importance of rest. Overworking yourself is a distraction in itself. When you're exhausted, your focus wanes, and it becomes much harder to stay productive. Make sure to take regular breaks and get enough sleep. A well-rested mind is more focused and can handle tasks more effectively. Creating an environment that's free of distractions is not a luxury, it's a necessity. If you want to succeed, you have to guard your focus fiercely. Distractions are the enemies of success, and they will do everything they can to pull you off course. But when you control your environment, you take control of your results. Number 8, use the pain of inaction as a motivator. Inaction eats away at your confidence, your future, and your potential. It causes regret, frustration, and the nagging feeling that you're not living up to your true potential. And let me tell you, there's no pain like the pain of knowing you could have done more, but chose not to. Inaction is a slow burn. It doesn't hit you all at once. It doesn't leave a bruise or a scar that's immediately visible. But over time, it builds up, and you feel it. The longer you put something off, the harder it becomes to act. You start to feel stuck, trapped in the comfort of not doing anything. But deep down, you know that comfort is a lie. It's not the comfort of progress. It's the comfort of avoidance. And that avoidance comes at a steep cost. The pain of inaction is the pain of missed opportunity. Think about the opportunities you've let slip through your fingers because you hesitated. The chances to grow, to learn, to improve. Each moment you sit on the sidelines is a moment you'll never get back. And when you realize that, it hits hard. The pain of inaction is not the absence of effort, but the quiet realization that you could have done more and you didn't. This is why you need to use that pain as fuel. Let it push you. When you feel that sting of regret starting to creep in, use it to remind yourself of the stakes. This isn't just about getting something done. This is about avoiding the deeper pain of wondering what could have been if you'd only acted sooner. The longer you delay, the greater the regret will be. And trust me, regret is far worse than any struggle you'll face in the process of action. Inaction also leads to complacency. You start to accept things as they are and tell yourself that it's fine to stay where you are. But let me tell you, that's dangerous. Complacency is the silent killer of dreams. It convinces you that your current situation is good enough when, in reality, you're settling for far less than you deserve. The pain of staying the same, of watching time pass without taking action, is something you'll feel deeply. It's a constant reminder that you're capable of so much more, but you're choosing to do nothing about it. This is where the real motivation comes in. Instead of looking at the effort required to get things done, look at the consequences of inaction. What will your life look like a year from now if you keep waiting? What will your life look like in 5 years, 10 years? Will you be further ahead? Or will you be stuck in the same spot, filled with regret and frustration? The pain of inaction isn't something you want to carry with you, and the best way to avoid that is to act, even when it's uncomfortable. The key to using the pain of inaction is to embrace it. Let it fuel you. Let it be the thing that drives you to take that first step, even when it feels impossible. The discomfort of acting is nothing compared to the discomfort of regret. The road to success is paved with action, and you can't get there if you're too afraid to take that first step. So feel the pain of not acting, and let it be the fire that pushes you to move forward. When you start to feel the weight of inaction, remind yourself of the bigger picture. You're not just acting for the moment, you're acting for the life you want to create. You're building a future that's worth fighting for. And in order to get there, you have to leave the comfort of inaction behind. Use that discomfort as motivation, not as an excuse to stop. There will always be reasons to wait. There will always be excuses to put things off. But those excuses are just distractions from the real pain you're avoiding. The pain of realizing that time is slipping away, and you're not doing anything about it. Don't let that be your reality. The pain of inaction will never go away on its own. But the pain of action will eventually fade, and you'll be left with the satisfaction of knowing that you took control of your future. When you start to feel stuck or overwhelmed, look at the alternative, the pain of not acting. Let that be the reminder that you're not just doing this for today. You're doing it for your future. Every step you take now, no matter how small, brings you closer to the person you're meant to be. The pain of taking action might sting for a moment, but the pain of inaction will last far longer. Don't let it control your life. Take the pain of inaction and turn it into your greatest motivator. Don't let it paralyze you. Let it ignite the fire inside you to keep going, to keep pushing, and to keep moving forward. Because when you finally look back, you'll be proud of the steps you took, not the ones you hesitated to make. Number 9, remind yourself of the end result. When you're in the middle of a task, it's easy to lose sight of why you're doing it. The grind becomes overwhelming, and the road ahead seems long and unclear. But here's the thing. If you want to keep pushing forward, if you want to force yourself to get it done, you need to stay connected to the end result. That vision of where you're going, the destination, that's your fuel. Think about what success looks like for you. Visualize it clearly. Picture the life you've always wanted, the achievements you're working for, and the sense of fulfillment you'll feel when it's all done. That image, that feeling, should be at the forefront of your mind. When the effort feels too heavy, when the tasks feel too hard, bring that vision back into focus. It's the reminder that every ounce of work you put in now is getting you closer to something bigger than today. When you lose sight of your goal, that's when doubt and frustration creep in. You start to question if it's all worth it. But the truth is, it always is. Every single step you take, no matter how small, brings you one step closer to where you want to be. Remind yourself of that. When things get tough, don't focus on the struggle. Focus on the results. Focus on the person you'll become by staying committed, the doors that will open, and the satisfaction you'll feel when you've accomplished what you set out to do. It's not just about the destination. It's about the person you will become in the process. The strength you build, the skills you develop, the confidence that grows inside you. Every sacrifice you make, every challenge you face is shaping you into someone better. When you remind yourself of that, the pain of effort starts to feel worth it. Because you know that you're becoming someone greater, someone who doesn't back down, someone who gets things done. The key is to make your end result so clear in your mind that it drives you. Don't just think about the reward. Think about how amazing it will feel to know that you did everything you could to achieve it. The satisfaction of finishing what you started is one of the most fulfilling feelings in life. Remind yourself of that feeling often, because it's the reminder that will keep you going when things get tough. When you know where you're headed, when you understand what's waiting for you at the finish line, every setback becomes just another bump in the road. Instead of getting discouraged by obstacles, you get motivated to push harder because you understand that it's all part of the journey. The end result is always worth the challenges along the way. Also understand this. The journey doesn't just end when you reach your goal. It's the foundation for your next steps, your next achievements. The person you become after overcoming the obstacles you face now will be more resilient, stronger, and more prepared for what's ahead. So keep that vision of success close. Keep it in your mind when things get difficult, and let it pull you forward when you feel like stopping. Success is never easy. It's the result of constant effort, constant focus, and consistent work. But when you remind yourself of what you're building, what's waiting for you on the other side, the effort feels lighter. The task becomes clearer. And that vision keeps you moving even when you want to quit. So take time to really picture it. The freedom, the pride, the sense of accomplishment. Every bit of hard work, every challenge is part of that bigger picture. Remind yourself daily of what you're working toward. Keep it in front of you, and don't let distractions or setbacks change your focus. The end result is more than worth it. It's your reason for doing what you're doing right now. Number 10, reward yourself for progress. One thing that people often forget when they're chasing their goals is the importance of celebrating the small wins. Too many people wait until the big goal is achieved before allowing themselves to feel good about their progress. But that's a mistake. If you want to keep pushing forward, you need to acknowledge every step you take toward your goal. Recognize that every bit of progress counts, no matter how small it might seem. It's easy to get caught up in the bigger picture, to keep focusing only on the end result. But the truth is, the path to success is made up of small, consistent steps. Every time you complete a task, finish a chapter, or reach a milestone, it's a victory. And it's those victories that add up over time and lead to the larger success you're aiming for. Rewarding yourself isn't about being complacent. It's about staying motivated and maintaining momentum. When you take the time to recognize your progress, you're reinforcing the behavior that leads to success. It's a way to celebrate your commitment and hard work, and it reminds you that the effort you're putting in is paying off. Small rewards along the way can keep you going, even when the journey feels long or difficult. When you hit a small milestone, don't just brush it off and move on. Take a moment to appreciate it. Give yourself permission to feel proud of what you've accomplished. Whether it's treating yourself to something small, taking a break to enjoy your favorite activity, or simply acknowledging the hard work you've put in, it all counts. These rewards will remind you that progress is happening, even when it feels like you're still far from the end. The key to this is consistency. You don't need to reward yourself after every task, but after every significant step forward. The more consistently you recognize your progress, the more motivated you'll feel to keep pushing toward the next goal. Celebrating small wins also helps keep you grounded. It gives you the chance to reflect on how far you've come, which boosts your confidence and reinforces your belief that you're capable of more. Rewards also help keep your mind in a positive state. If you're constantly focused on what still needs to be done without giving yourself credit for what you've already achieved, you'll start to feel overwhelmed. But when you take the time to reward yourself, you give your mind the break it needs to recharge and refocus. This isn't about indulgence, it's about balance. Another reason to reward yourself is that it builds the right kind of habit. When you associate progress with positive reinforcement, it becomes easier to keep moving forward. The brain loves rewards. It craves them. So when you tie progress to something enjoyable, it reinforces the behavior and makes it more likely you'll keep taking action. Think about it. Every time you push through a tough task and reward yourself, you're teaching your brain that hard work leads to a payoff. That makes it easier to tackle the next challenge and the next one after that. Over time, those rewards will help you build the habit of consistently taking action toward your goals. But remember, the reward doesn't always have to be something external. The greatest reward can come from within. It's the sense of satisfaction that comes with knowing you gave it your all, that you stayed focused and made progress. Internal rewards are just as important as external ones, and they'll help you build resilience over time. As you continue your journey, never forget to celebrate your progress. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a step closer to your goal. And when you reward yourself, you're reminding yourself that you're on the right path. So take a moment to appreciate how far you've come and let that appreciation fuel your drive to keep going. Because the more you acknowledge your progress, the more you'll achieve. And that, my friend, is worth celebrating